Hi everyone, welcome to the Gray Void. Welcome back to another video. It's Kessie. This is the last video that I'm filming in 2025, but it will be uploaded as my first video of 2026. So hello from the past. How is it in 2026? Let me know. But we voted on my Instagram Reels. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you better. The @ is @KessieLisa, like all my ats. They voted that we're going to do 25 things I learned in 2025. So let's get into it. I don't want to be too long, talking about 25 things. That sounds like a lot of editing for me. So let's make this quick. Let's make this snappy. I wrote everything down. Number 1, to be cringe is to be free. Stop caring about what people think about you when they look at you, because nobody actually cares. What, somebody calls you cringe, comments that you're cringe, and then what? I feel like the only actually cringe thing is when you're being a mean, terrible human being, which is what those commenters are doing. So be cringe in a nice, positive, true to yourself way, and you will attract the right people, the right friends, the right audience. Whoever is for you will come to you. Number 2, it is actually so important to smile. Maybe this is just because I'm a server. Well, not anymore. It's because I was a server, and especially in the last couple months of me working, I don't know, I just had like this joy to me. In my mind, I was like, yes, sometimes this work is miserable, but I'm happy because I'm alive. I have a job. How grateful can I be to just have a job in 2025? And I'm chilling. So I'm always smiling at work, and people always comment about it. They always be like, oh, Kessie, you're so bubbly. Oh, Kessie, la 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 la. Oh, Kessie, we love your smile. Oh, we love your dimples. Thank you. And especially when I was working events that didn't have, because I worked at a golf club, and when I was working outside of the club events, so banquets or whatever, like company events, etc., I would always get a lot of compliments on it and tips. Like, I got tips just because I smiled, just because I speak and I smile and I look in people's eyes when I speak to them. I try, it's actually a thing that I really, really struggled with, but I try a lot more now. A trick is to look like here, look at their forehead, and then dart to their eyes every once in a while. Because I know it can be really uncomfortable to make direct eye contact. The only time I make direct eye contact is if I'm in an interview. Next, fix your posture and the way that you walk. People will 100% notice. Also, something that I did at work, I would try to walk with a lot of grace, with a lot of speed. This one thing they told me during my orientation that my old clubhouse manager told me is like, you want to be kind of like a swan on the water, where their feet are going super fast, but they look super graceful. So I really try to walk into rooms with my head held high. Every movement is soft. Every movement is cute. Every movement is fun. You just bring an animation to yourself, and it really, really goes a long way. Because when you slouch, it screams that you're anxious, insecure, and that you do not want to be approached. Whereas when you're open, people feel like, oh, I can be towards this person. I notice this even in public. Like, it could be a room full of a gajillion people ask me for directions. I feel like if you're a person who people ask for directions in a room full of people, that means you are approachable. Number 4, hygiene is key. So we're gonna be real, like really real right now. When I was younger, my hygiene was really bad. I was super depressed. I hated not wearing clothes. I found it super uncomfortable. I literally would come home and I'd sleep. Maybe I'd do my homework, enough homework so that the teachers won't be mad at me, and then I'd go straight to bed. I'd eat, go back to bed. I'd wake up at maybe 6 a.m., go back to bed, and then I'd wake up at 7 a.m., I'd roll out of bed, and I'd go to school. I would say if you are a person who is super depressed and you find it hard to brush your teeth, to take a shower, to do anything like that, let showering be the one thing you do. Let it be the one thing you do, because I'm telling you, it's like a snowball effect. When I started taking my hygiene way more seriously, I made a journal and I put every day of the year in it. So I put January, then I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 31. And then I put all the months over here. And then I put color it. You could also use stickers if you want. You would color it with a marker for like you showered that day. And it kind of felt like I was completing a goal. So it made me want to shower because I'm like, okay, I get to fill out my pretty little journal if I shower. And also, when you are already starting that snowball effect of showering, you end up doing everything else. I'm telling you, if you find it hard to keep up with your hygiene, let showering be the one thing you do. You don't need to have a 40,000 step shower routine. Get your booty in that shower. Wipe your cheeks with some soap, and you will feel good. I can get deeper into hygiene and my hygiene journey and everything like that because I know that it's a big struggle that people are scared to talk about. Even now, you know, hopefully nobody calls me Stinky Kess on the internet, but I'm really glad that I've evolved from my high school self because it literally socially destroys you not having great hygiene. And now, you smell good is one of my biggest compliments that I get, and it is my most valued compliment. Number 5, we are scared of change, and our body will try to protect us from this change by keeping us in familiar places. So I'm gonna relate this kind of like to men. I'm gonna relate this to relationships because I found it very hard to separate from old situations because I was like, but what if I go into these new situations and they don't like me? I already know that this other person likes me, blah, blah, blah. I did do a lot of dating at the beginning of 2025, and I did get rejected and ghosted and, you know, life for dead. In the later part of the year, I really learned that these people are like a toxin to you. It's like a drug. And your body wants to take the drug because it'll make you feel good, it'll make you feel sedated, it'll make you feel comfortable, because our body is really, really allergic to things that are unfamiliar. Distance yourself from what's familiar because you have enough foresight to know that it is not healthy. A fiend takes their drug even though they know it's destroying their body and destroying their lives. So your body is acting like that, but you have the power to change. Dating can be super fun. In 2025, I did a lot of dating. I went around, but please don't waste your time. I wish I would have cut so many dates short. Like, I wish like 30 minutes in, I would have been like, you know what? I really love spending time with you, but I gotta go. Because spending an hour and some change with someone who can't keep up a conversation, like, or there's no chemistry, even if it's not their fault, if it's just like we have no chemistry, like, get me out of there. Or if it's so clear that they don't want the same things that you want, leave. I went on like 3 dates with a guy who like didn't even want marriage, and I knew that by date 2. So I was like, why did I go on date 3 even? Like, why did I even go on date 3? It was such a waste of time. Oh my god. Stop comparing yourself because other people live completely different lives than you. I think for me especially, I would always compare myself to my peers, especially in school and stuff like that. But then I had a little breakthrough. This happened when I was scrolling. And there was this girl who became a model, and she quit her job and became a model full-time with no real big plan of how she was going to do it, which I was like, oh my god, that's so inspiring. And it is inspiring and good for her. However, she had a job that paid her $70K. She had no student debt, and she had a hefty savings fund, which she made a video about, being super honest about it, which is great. Like, I love the transparency, because that literally made me realize, why am I comparing myself to somebody who's in a completely different position than me? And even in school, I have classmates, bless their heart, love you guys. I have classmates whose parents paid for their entire schooling, who still live with their parents, who have no financial responsibility, who don't have a job. I have classmates who don't have a job because they don't need one. So why am I comparing myself to somebody who lives with their parents, has all the free time in the world and no bills, when I don't live with my parents. I pay my rent, and I have a job, and I have bills. Like, don't compare yourself to someone who is not in the exact same position as you. 8, never lower your standards for anyone. Please, not for a man, not for a friend, not for no one. 9, prayer without action is just words. It's just like throwing the words in the air. God, please give me this. I don't want to do anything to work towards it. What? 10. This is a big one. This is a big one. And this is probably like one of my biggest lessons that I learned this year. FOMO is dragging you down. There was a time in my life, especially at the beginning of 2025 and definitely during all of 2024, I could not miss an event. If people invited me anywhere, I had to go. The thought of things happening without me and me not being there to experience them like shattered my soul. I could not fathom my friends going out to a bar after work and me not being there. But this year, I like just decided I have a lot of shit to do. Like, I have so much stuff to do, and I will not get this done if I'm out at 2 a.m. And my body started feeling like garbage because I was just out so late, having early mornings, late nights, no sleep, and during those late nights I'm out drinking and doing all that stuff. I stopped drinking in September. It's December, so it's not that huge of an accomplishment, but it's still an accomplishment. You know, there's people who can't go a week without a drink. So I've gone 3 months without drinking, and one of the best things I ever did. My skin looks better, I feel better, and instead of being like, oh, I'm never gonna drink again, I set some really high goals for myself. And when I reach those really high goals, that's when I'm gonna be able to pop the champagne. And I keep those goals very secret. You need to have enough independence to not be tethered to the thought of other people having fun without you. You will have days out with people. You can organize your own days out. Okay, number 11. Real friends will be real with you. So real friends, you can tell them things, you can cry together, you can disagree with something they said, they can hear you out, you can hear them out, and everything will be fine. You have a friend who's super defensive, who will literally cut you off and do everything without hearing you out? Not really my thing, personally. I like my friends to have some kind of self-awareness about themselves, where they can be like, oh, was the thing I said weird? And I can be like, yeah. Or they can tell me, Cassie, the thing you just said was really bad. And I can be like, oh, yes, you're right. You just need friends where you guys can actually talk on a human level. You understand that you're both humans and that you're not these like perfect little Barbie dolls that are just props in each other's lives. A lot of girls have props in their lives. Their friends are their little props that they go out with, that they look cute with. But when it comes to actually being real with them, they can't handle it. So what do? They just cut them off. We're adults. Let's get it together. Invest in experiences and less objects. So we live in a world where we have a lot of things, but I feel like we should be doing a lot more things. I went on vacation this year and became a little bit more worldly. I went to Paris, Barcelona, and London, England, and it was just nice to see like the other parts of the world and stuff like that. And I didn't pay for the whole trip. I paid for what I paid for, which was still a lot. I think I spent like $2,000 on that trip. But I feel a lot more enriched by those $2,000 I spent compared to, you know, all the money that adds up from like these random objects that I buy. Number 13, when you have time to focus on your goals and you focus on your goals and just on your routines and stuff, you actually won't find the time to just buy random frivolous stuff. So try to fill up your schedule with working on yourself or with hobbies. Do something. Because when you don't do something, you end up scrolling, you end up buying things online, you end up going to the mall, buying random things you didn't need. Number 14, it is super important that you connect with yourself and your body. You need to look at yourself, you need to feel yourself, you need to know your body, what works, what doesn't work, exercise-wise, how you look, you know, feel yourself, if you know what I'm saying, everywhere. Because you never know if there's something wrong if you don't look at your body. Especially if you're a woman, you need to be looking at your things. You need to be making sure there's no lumps in there. And you need to be super comfortable with who you are and what you look like. Absolutely zero negative self-talk, by the way. Just look at it. Just look at it. Feel it, look at it. Be one with you. Number 15. Don't keep people around just because you're lonely. This is not good. This is actually bad. Like, you are a bad person when you do this, because I definitely did this a lot, and it's just unhealthy for yourself, for the other party. It is a no. Number 16, changing your environment will rewire your brain, and you will be able to get stuff done that you didn't think that you could get done before. So sometimes I'll just go to the library when I have some kind of work to do, because I can't do work in my room sometimes. Like, it really doesn't work for me. I end up laying down. It takes me like 5 years to write 2 sentences, and I'm just like groggy, you know, phone's right there, I go scrolling. Whatever. Change your environment, you know, even if it's just going from your bedroom to your living room, or going from your desk to a cafe. Whatever you need to do, change your environment, and I promise you, you will be getting a lot more done. 17. It is actually so important to have good friends in your life. If I did not have the friends that I have, I would not be who I am, and I would not have so much growth this year. It's because of the friends that I have that kept me grounded. Number 18. Gossip is out in 2026. And this is not to say that I didn't gossip this year. I definitely did. And that is why I really want to emphasize that it is so bad, because sometimes you don't know the full context of a situation, and you're just coming from the super judgmental place, and it's just icky. Like, I can have a whole think piece about someone and their behavior. I've learned to just leave it where it is. Keep it in my brain, keep it in my journal, me and myself. Now we're gonna talk about it, but me and other people don't need to talk about other people. And 19, it is super important to just shut down like low vibrational conversations like that. So if somebody really wants to talk shit about someone, or is trying to instill some kind of moral to you that you don't agree with, just shut it down. Just, you know, change the topic. Just, it is actually so okay to just be like, you know, I don't want to talk about this. And what are they gonna do? Argue with you? And then you go, okay. Like, I still don't want to talk about it. What are you gonna do about it? Force it down my throat? No. Number 20, I do what I like. I don't get peer pressured anymore. I feel like peer pressure, I can't do that as a grown adult. I'm 23 years old. Do you think a group of people are telling me to do one thing and I have to do that thing? Absolutely not. I'll do what I want. I'll do what I want, and I won't do what I don't want to do. And that's on period. Number 21, a great way to build new habits and to stick to those habits is to make them enjoyable. So, for example, sometimes I find it very tedious to do all my self-care in the morning, so I listen to a podcast, I listen to a YouTube video, whatever I need to do, I make it something fun. I listen to my favorite music, a nice playlist. I do whatever I need to do to make that activity fun for me. Same thing with cooking. One big thing with cooking, I would always wait until I'm starving. And then I'd be so starving that I'm like, I can't get up and cook. I'm going to order Osmos for the 5th time this week. So instead, I started just snacking when I cook. Like having like a little bit of chips or grapes or whatever, and just take a little snack. That way, when I'm cooking, I'm not literally starving and in pain. And you know, even when I'm cooking, I put on a little show. I do whatever I need to do to make it fun for me. Number 22, cook what you already like. I don't know why well, obviously, if you have fitness goals, it makes sense. But find some healthy alternatives to foods that you already like. For example, I don't eat candy, unless it's literally Christmas or Valentine's Day. I don't eat candy. So instead, what I do is I eat grapes, because grapes are like nature's candy. And even with the actual food that I cook food that I already like and eat, like lasagna, like chicken wings, like some kind of pizza, pair it with some salad, whatever. I'm lying. I actually never eat salad unless it's like a macaroni salad. It's good and important to eat your greens. I do like cherry tomatoes though. Tea, that's a really good veg. Number 23, I made a video about this. I'll put the thumbnail here. Definitely go watch that video, but you don't have to tell anybody anything. People can ask, you can be vague. You can be mysterious if you want to be. You don't have to tell everybody every single detail of your life because it's none of their business. It's actually none of their business. 24. Journaling is so transformational. I'm telling you guys, if you don't journal or at least write down your thoughts, you don't have to have a physical journal. You can literally just have your notes app. Just get your thoughts out of your head and onto something that you can look at. It just gives so much clarity to your thoughts. I'll make some more videos about journaling. I do have a video about journaling on the channel if you want to check that out, about different types of journaling. And last, number 25. To be part of a village, you have to be a villager. So that means sometimes friendships are going to be inconvenient. Sometimes you have to put others above yourself. And sometimes you just have to show up for things. And that's good. That's part of literally just living in society, is showing up for other people, sacrificing your time, you know, showing up to things that matter to you, whether that be social causes, anything, birthday parties, family events. Show up whenever you can. Don't use those excuses. I don't feel like it. I really need to center myself today. Sorry, like, you need to show up for other people if you ever expect anyone to show up for you. This is very much a give-take type of thing. Yeah, those are the 25 things that I learned in 2025. Let me know in the comments how your new year is going so far. You know, I'm gonna make some videos updating you guys about my new job and everything like that. So really stay tuned because the channel is going to blow up this year. I always say this every single year. I'm going to hit so many subscribers this year. I am counting on it. My thumbnail game is gonna be on, my uploading game is gonna be on, because I can't really afford for it to not be, because this has been a goal for so many years now. If not now, then when? If not me, then who? Don't drink the Kool-Aid, my friend. I'm trying to tell y'all about this dude. Anyways, please subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you in the next video.